So the kettlebell swing is one of my favorite exercises for strengthening the hips. It utilizes the hip hinge, which is basically the crux of the exercise. And this is really applicable to a lot of athletic activities and just general daily activities. It's really good at stabilizing the spine, as there should not be much movement at the spine, so you're kind of building isometric strength. One of the ways I like to kind of practice this, as this is an exercise that is not always done correctly, and if performed incorrectly can increase a lot of stress on the lower back, and that's why people sometimes associate this exercise with injury. But if done correctly, it is one of the best exercises for strengthening the back. So the way I like to set up is I use a wall. In this case, I'm using a door that's securely fastened. I put my heel of my right foot against the door. I bring my left foot out almost to where my toes on my right foot end. Then I bring my feet together, so I'm several inches away from the door. And I bring my feet just a little wider than shoulder width apart. The reason I do that is because the kettlebell width that I use, it rubs against my legs if I'm any narrower. My hands are overlapped on top of each other like so. And what I'm doing is I'm sticking my butt out behind me, keeping my hands as close to my groin region as possible and reaching for the door behind me. As I do this, my hips will kind of move backwards like so. And I have the door, the wall, to give me that kind of tactile or hard kind of feedback, let me know I'm doing it correctly. I start slow and kind of master the movement. When doing this, your lats want to be engaged, your chest wants to be engaged. All those muscles help stabilize your spine. And as you can tell, when I'm doing this, I'm not really getting any movement in my spine. It's all happening at my hip and maybe a little bend in my knees. I'm not overreaching when I come down, not letting my hands hang down. If I have the weight of my hands here, that puts a lot of stress on the low back. So take care to avoid that. So again, you're reaching behind you and then back up. Reaching behind you, and when you start to get that down a little more, you can kind of start to mimic the kettlebell swing movement even more. Once you've mastered that and you can kind of do the speed that you would use with an actual kettlebell, then you can kind of shift on and progress the exercise so you are using a light kettlebell to begin with. Always go to form failure. Always practice with lighter weights to perfect the exercise first, and then progress to heavier weights as you go on. Start with a lower amount of sets, increase your volume at a safe rate, increase your intensity at a safe rate. Hope that helps.